Welcome back to the channel. A lot to unpack, a lot to talk about this week. Want to take an opportunity to go through a recent publication by the Altus Group talking about the construction industry and the impacts because of the fact that we're not building new homes and what it could mean not only for Ontario, what it could mean for the construction industry moving forward, what it could mean for the broader real estate market right here in the GTA. Stay tuned. We'll talk about that this week. Once again, thanks for stopping by. If you have not yet subscribed, we invite you to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Let us know your thoughts and opinions. But more importantly, if you like the video, if you learned something in the video, or know someone that can benefit from the content in the video, please feel free to share it. Let's get right into it. Ultimately, last month in June, there was a publication by the Altus Group talking about how there could be some major threats to the construction industry as a result of the fact that many Canadians, especially here in the GTA, know, hey, look, we're not building new condos. We're not building new homes. All we're doing right now is basically sitting on the sidelines and waiting. A lot of developers, especially those that we have been in touch with, those that we know that are basically working or finishing off their projects, a lot of those people in the trades, a lot of friends and family, those colleagues that I have been reaching out, talking to them about the construction industry and what they see happening. And it's just not really looking that good. And ultimately, that's something we've been sounding the alarm on here on this channel, talking about, hey, if they don't build these new homes, if we don't see the development push forward, ultimately, a lot of things could happen here. Now, first and foremost, the link to the article is in the description box below, so you can take a look at it for yourself. Obviously, there's so much data that you can pull out here, so many different opinions and thoughts. But what I want to look at right now is obviously the fact that, look, if you take away all these construction jobs in the GTA, you're going to have higher unemployment in the province of Ontario. And we see that sort of happening firsthand. If you just look at the numbers for the Ontario as opposed to Canada, you'll see that a lot of these segments are a lot higher. And ultimately, there could be a lot of reasons why that is, not just the construction industry. We have the automotive industry, of steel and aluminum. Yes, different factors, but Ontario will get hit very hard, especially because the construction industry in Ontario is a big one. I mean, Toronto, one of the biggest hotspots for building condos. All that is being pushed to the side. No new permits are being issued. I know people that are basically wondering when their project is done, where they're going to do. They're going to be sitting at home for the next few weeks collecting, or months, or maybe, as long as they can, be at home collecting unemployment because, look, there's nothing happening. And that's what we're seeing. We've talked about it, where a lot of individuals were on 5-day work weeks, now are maybe on 3 or 4, depending if you're lucky or not. I mean, this is the reality right now that we're seeing. And a lot of these people, what's going to end up happening is if they end up losing their job, yes, you're a skilled trade. You might be a blue seal or a red seal trade, for example. You're not going to necessarily just pick up and leave, especially if you're not going to just change career paths, but you may have to find another job. You may say, hey, look, we're living paycheck to paycheck. I need to move to a different province, maybe get hired by a different company. And we see that that was sort of the conversation about having that interprovincial, ability to move skilled trades from province to province and accept that accreditation. But ultimately as well is a lot of these individuals pick up and leave Canada entirely, right? And go work abroad somewhere else. And once those jobs are gone, we know that we already had a problem finding skilled trades to build the homes that the government wants and obviously needs and what Ontario needs. So if you lose the people one way or another and you put them off work, just like we happened through the pandemic, a lot of jobs were lost, a lot of sectors, people changed career paths that could, and they went to a different career path altogether. And not to say, look, that's the case, but once again, these projects, the developments with the red tape, the bureaucracy, all the high fees and costs and all the disconnections between departments and municipalities and different codes and so on and so forth. I mean, it's just a disaster until it's all streamlined. So projects take longer. There's nothing really monumental that's changed. Hopefully, maybe we'll see something happen as the government's now, frantically trying to maybe bring in or bring back foreign buyers, or, basically trying to yell from the mountaintops that affordability is returning. And yes, I could see how prices have dropped in the condo space. Still pretty high, but once again, much better than it was just, at the top end of 2022, leading from 2020 back up there, right? So we have some form of return to normalcy, whatever that normal is, depends on you and your what you see as those prices. But we see a lot of people right now, a lot of young first-time homebuyers, single buyers getting back into the condo market to buy a home where they're going to live, not rent. Remember, a lot of these condos were bought by investors to rent, and rents are falling. That's a whole different other problem. But once again, you can see the knock-on effect. Developers stop building there. They're not building single-family homes. They're building a lot of these purpose-built rentals, multi-unit homes that are going to be rented out and not for the end user. So what happens to people like yourselves, or those who are looking to purchase a home, right? A lot of our clients who want to purchase the home for them and their families to live in, that's just not happening. So, what the data is pointing to is the year-over-year contraction in new homes being built, and the fact that construction jobs are going to get less and less. And we're talking about potentially 40,000 direct jobs being lost in the GTA in those trades. Then you're talking about around 30,000 jobs of indirect, right? You're talking about the suppliers that supply the materials to the electricians and the plumbers and the HVAC guys and the formers and the developers, right? Then you're having about 17,500 jobs that are basically induced jobs. Those are the office jobs. Those are the realtors, the bank jobs, the potential jobs in, even the mortgage industry, any industry, that builder, that developer who has a marketing team or another team, if they're not building, they don't need to carry all that extra weight. They can trim the fat and keep themselves as lean as possible, right? To keep the doors open. And we could potentially see a lot of builders sort of close shop right now, sort of just hang up their hats and say, we're done until the market returns and sentiment returns down the road. And, when you start to see all these symptoms, I encourage you once again to go through data, make up and formulate your own opinions, but this could potentially lead to higher home prices years from now. We may not see that on the wall right now, but just remember, everything comes in cycles. Everything goes up, comes down. Everything that goes down can come up, and ultimately it just depends on how long it will take and who can weather the storm. Best. A lot of times people have advice saying, hey, liquidate those homes, especially those investment properties, remain in cash. Ultimately right now, those who have been patiently waiting are able to score some pretty good deals. I know we've been helping a lot of our clients get their dream homes right now because they've been patient. They didn't execute when everyone else was having the FOMO attack. They waited, they sat tight, and now they're able to find those dreams homes, fully decked out homes at a very significantly reduced price, and they're able to make that happen. So you potentially could see, as all these guys leave the industry, the trades, you have developers closing shop, you have them not wanting to build. Well, we still have over 41 million Canadians. A lot of them are in Ontario. We don't have enough homes, a lot of rental, but what about the end users? Then you have a mismatch in those housing types. Obviously, that's a big problem. What they're building, we talked about it, right? They're not building the homes that people want. They're building a lot of these rental units. They're not building homes that Canadians can live in, those 9 to 12, 1,300 square foot homes. And then on top of it, obviously, that could lead to heavier government costs, right? Because at the end of the day, if you're not building, the government may want to charge more. They should be charging way less. But at the end of the day, remember, those are revenues that the cities are going to be potentially losing out on. And although they may have reserves in the billions here in the GTA, in Toronto, once again, that can go very, very quickly. But ultimately, that is something we need to consider. And what is your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this whole situation about construction jobs, Toronto, and housing? Do you think we're going to be facing a major housing shortage in the years to come? Is it going to be amplified considering what's happening now? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Once again, we invite you to subscribe to the channel. But more importantly, thanks again for stopping by, and we'll see you all next week.